Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one. And welcome back to Star Wars Outlaws, where, for reasons entirely down to Kay's complete lack of competence, she is not only on the run from the Sixth Kin gang, but she's also burnt through the last friend that she ever had in the galaxy. With no other options, she is now forced to accept an extremely dubious contract to join a completely unknown crew for an extremely dangerous job. And speaking of Kay's total lack of competence,
We know
you hear that?
Open up. You wanna live?
They caught up with Preben. I guess I'm not the only one who needs to get off of Canto.
And how did they catch up with Preben, Kay? Yeah, your fault.
Okay, Bram's datapad said the contact's name is Denian. They should be just ahead.
I feel like I do owe you some sort of clarification on the things that I said about the game, and more specifically the things that I said about Kay in the first video. We'll get to that in a sec.
Mount up.
Where are you from?
Nobody here is interested in being your friend, Kay. You're here to do a job, just get in the speeder. Yeah, she's not very good at any of this. And that's fine. She is, after all, just a petty criminal. As long as she has some kind of character arc. Well, Jingles from the future can confirm that she in fact does. Although, you do have to put up with an awful lot of her bullshit before we get to that point. The first couple of hours in this game are kind of rough.
You're local.
Yeah, but I never get to see it like this.
Looks like a fun town.
You're not from here. Who's the mark?
The boss named Slero. Runs a syndicate called Zarek Besh. They're new, they're rich, and rumor has it they've got the underworld scared.
Which means security.
Enough. But a fortune for us if you can get to his vault. Password override. You and your little friend there better be as good as Bram says.
She's really not. Bram might have overcooked the pudding just a little bit there. But he said what he needed to say in order to get her the job. And get rid of her.
Go make us all rich.
Yeah, Jingles from the future is actually thoroughly enjoying this game. I've got 20 hours into it now, and it's actually really good. And I'm already seeing why people were saying it didn't feel like a Ubisoft game. Because it doesn't feel like a Ubisoft game. However, Jingles at this point really wasn't enjoying it that much at all. Mostly down to, well, her.
Enjoy the view, Nix. One way or another, it's the last time we're gonna see it. Hope Bram's okay. Taught me so much. And look how I paid him back.
I mean, for all of the reasons that I elaborated on in the first video, I really did not like this character very much.
Think I can swing across.
Also, having just played Horizon Forbidden West, a game that handles jumping and climbing puzzles, in my opinion, in a far superior way, the jumping and climbing sections in Star Wars Outlaws came as a bit of a shock to the system. They're not context sensitive in the way that they are in Horizon Forbidden West. Like you see here, I do basically exactly the same thing that I did in the previous failed attempt, and yet this time I make the jump.
Hang on to me, Nix. We gotta climb.
Although I didn't do exactly the same thing, I had a slightly faster run-up and I released slightly later. You see, in Outlaws, the climbing and jumping puzzles are skill-based.
Denian, I see a tower up ahead. Could be my way in.
You're the thief. We're in position and waiting.
What I mean by that is, if I'd been doing that in Horizon Forbidden West, as long as you press the correct button at the correct time, you will always make the jump.
Don't look down, Nix.
The puzzles are context sensitive. What I mean by that is, as long as you're taking the correct route, the jumps are effectively done for you, as long as you're pressing the correct key.
Denian, I'm looking at the mansion. Exactly how rich is this Lero guy?
He's top 5 outer rim for sure. Sliro built Zarek Besh from the ground up, and that ain't cheap. It's his own personal criminal empire. Other than that, nobody knows anything about him.
You sure know how to pick a mark.
You want to get rich, you have to go where the money is.
This allows the game's animators to make them look way, way cooler than they have any right to be. Here in Outlaws, you really do have to pay attention to exactly how fast you're running, how far the gap is, because you have to work out the correct distances yourself. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just a different thing. Having just come from Horizon Forbidden West, I was initially a little not impressed with the difference. But it didn't take long for me to get used to it. I mean, it's a different game. They're perfectly entitled to do things slightly differently. Some people have said that it reminds them more of the way that you navigate puzzles in Uncharted, for example.
Kanto really does look a lot different from up here, huh, Nix? Can't believe we might finally leave this place. It's... I don't know. Well, we wanted a shot at the Biggs course. This is it. Okay, Denyon, I'm in position.
Starting the fireworks. Get inside.
Whoa! I'll sound the alarm! I bet you can see that halfway across Kanto.
Come on, this way!
Start looking!
Those are not handheld blasters. Denyon's crew has
What do you
some
see?
serious firepower. One criticism that was levelled at me, and it was entirely fair in my first video, was that I spent a lot of time saying I really like this game, but without giving you any examples of what it was about the game that I really like.
I need to get their attention.
I really, really like the stealth system in this game.
What's going on?
Nicest place we've ever robbed, huh?
Initially, it seems like there's nothing about it that's particularly innovative. I mean, we've seen this sort of thing 1,000 times before. Hide in the grass, whistle to attract the attention of the guard, and then take them out. But one thing that Star Wars Outlaws does, as well as later on opening up many more additional stealth options, is right from the start, it allows you to use Nix,
Someone nearby.
as well as acting as a sort of mobile scanning device and highlighting the location of anything interesting nearby. You can also use them to distract, steal from, and attack enemies. Don't worry, there's going to be an example of that soon. But also notice, fast talk, north of 2, defeat enemies with melee. Taking opponents out in melee combat is about to unlock the first 2 steps that will lead to a new ability called fast talk. See, at the moment, if I get detected while I'm in stealth, while I'm sneaking around like this, it's basically game over. I instantly get caught. However,
Hold on.
and there's 3 of 5. Once I unlock the fast talk ability, rather than instantly getting busted and bailing the mission if it was a stealth mission, or just getting shot if it's not a stealth mission, it unlocks a window of opportunity for a couple of seconds for me to do something to ensure that the game isn't up. She gets caught, and instead of just instantly failing, she starts bullshitting, giving her just a couple of seconds to either get close enough to take the guard out quietly in melee, or attack it with Nix and put the guard off balance, or switch her blaster to stun mode and take the guard out with a stun shot. Options that at the moment she doesn't have. Let's show you one of the things you can do with Nix. We're going to make him earn his pay. So there's a guard over there. Yeah, Nix has just revealed him. And now you hold down Q, and this gives you the various different options.
Go get him.
So Nix is going to go and attack him. And now I've got a couple of seconds to get up there, come to Nix's rescue, and take the guard out with a melee attack. There are lots of other things that Nix is going to be able to do as well, but again, these are all unlockable abilities. You have to be bad first in order to get better. And that's really kind of Kay's whole arc, because she does have an arc. I mean, if I had to play the entire game for 50 plus hours with Kay being as insufferable as she is at the beginning, I don't think I could stand it. But while she does talk a good fight, she knows that she's no master criminal. It's all bluster. But she is going to get good. I mean, that's the whole point. There is some actual progression, and she does actually develop as a character.
Denyon, I'm in.
Take the turbo lift. It's the most direct way to Sliro's vault.
None of this, of course, was anything that I could show you in the first video, because it hadn't happened yet. But I'm 20 hours in, and I've seen it. Oh yeah, the data spike rhythm minigame. I mean, it's fine. It was, you know, kind of amusing the first couple of times. Obviously, this is a completely subjective opinion. Your mileage may vary. I kind of got bored with it after the first hour or two. Fortunately, you can turn it off in the options. If you get sick of it as quickly as I did, then you can disable it and effectively just automatically succeed every time you have to use the data spike. The game's full of options like that.
Okay, energy barrier. Has to be getting power from somewhere. Next, find me that generator.
A lot of the minigames in Outlaws, like the data spike thing, can either be just eliminated entirely or made substantially easier if you're just not having fun with them.
What is it with rich guys and old ships?
That's a model of the Trailblazer, Sliro's ship. Don't worry, we'll be seeing a lot more of that ship later on. First, we need to get rid of this force field so we can progress. And that's the switch for it over there. Thank you, Nix. We could have sent Nix over to turn it off. He's nothing if not a very resourceful little fella. Okay, the force field's down. Now we can get through to the next area. This room on the right, you might recognise it from the cutscene at the very beginning of the game in the first video. This is where Sliro was making the Hut, Crimson Dawn, and Pike cartels an offer they couldn't refuse.
Blaster burns. What happened in here?
Yeah, he had their representatives shot. Sent a definite message.
Cameras. We gotta avoid them, Nix.
Note the tip that just popped up in the top left of the screen. As well as not getting spotted by cameras, you don't shoot them. That will raise the alarm. Something that you would have been able to do in, well, a lot of other games of this type. So I need to wait for the camera to sweep past in order to sneak past its field of view.
There's a turbo lift. And of course it's got a barrier.
Bit of an issue with the camera there. It panned to show me the turbo lift, which is on the other side of a wall that I can't see through. The game's not without its issues. Oh, and of course it's guarded as well. But Nix just found me a nice little vent for me to sneak into. I mean, if you're paying attention, you can spot these things for yourself, but Nix will highlight them for you if you ask him to. Gonna have to use the data spike again to get through this door. And we're in. Looks like a kitchen. Shut the door behind me, just in case. Have a look around. There's some stuff here to steal. Armoured undershirt, another ability. At the moment we're collecting coarse weave for it. Oh, and there's some guards in here. Okay. Getting cover behind this kitchen island and grab yet more coarse weave for the armoured undershirt ability. I should be able to take this one out without the other one seeing. One thing about this game is that while you can do stealth takedowns of guards, you can't hide the bodies. That was a feature in something like Cyberpunk or Ghost Recon Wildlands. It is not a feature in Star Wars Outlaws. And any patrols that come across the bodies will be alerted. So often, planning on where to take down a guard can be just as, if not more important, on deciding whether or not to take down a guard. Okay, I've reached the capacity of the number of Bacta vials that I can carry. These are the health items. They'll restore 2 bars of health.
Okay, that should have shut the barrier down.
And I've just shut down a barrier that I didn't even know existed. Which is a thing in the game's favour, by the way. I mean, I've been singing the praises of Horizon Zero Dawn, but I come across a couple of occasions in that game
This thing is worth more than Bram's cantina.
where I'd come across something that would allow me to progress, but I wasn't allowed to interact with it until I'd come across the thing that I needed to progress past, if you know what I mean. Like a console that you could access to open up an alternate route past an obstacle, but you couldn't actually interact with the console until you'd found the obstacle, you know, stupid stuff like that. There's none of that in Star Wars Outlaws. Oh, check me out. 241 credits. Untold riches. It's really not. Kay's a petty criminal. Alright, there's another camera up ahead. I can either avoid it, or I could send Nix over there to distract it and sneak past. But there's a console over here. Oh, it's an alarm panel. Now, at the moment, I have the option to sabotage it. Later on in the game, you will earn the ability to send a Nix over to actually sabotage it. So if anybody runs to the alarm panel, they get themselves electrocuted. This is the way I came, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, it is. Oh, I got turned around. Okay. So I need to get past that camera. And just remember where it was. Yeah, it was this way. There it is. So I can either wait for it, or I can send Nix over. Whoa, it nearly saw me. Oof. That was close. Okay, we're good. He did see me.
What? You can't be here.
What do you see?
Alright. I'm going to send Nix over
Go
to
get
attack
him,
him. This buys me a couple of seconds to get in there and take him out with melee. And then pray, oh, I shall disable this alarm panel as well. Pray that that camera doesn't sweep past and see the body. Although it looks like the camera isn't moving. I guess I lucked out there. Let's have a good look around. So this is the turbo lift. Well, that's not the turbo lift. The turbo lift's over there. Can I make it past? Yes. Okay, good. Now, was that guy looking this way? Maybe if I hug the wall.
Vault's waiting.
Yeah, I can make it in without him seeing me. Alright, we're good. We've made it to the turbo lift. So the vault should be on the other side. Well, not the other side, but wherever the turbo lift... You know what I mean.
Denyon, I'm in the turbo lift.
Move faster, Kay.
How long before Kanto police get here?
This is Lero's place. They're not coming.
Yeah, just more Zarek Bash.
Yet another mark of just how crap Kay is at the beginning of this game. She's from around here, and she actually thought the police were going to turn up to investigate a hit on a crime lord's mansion.
What's that?
Uh-oh, okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There
No
it is.
option but to get into
The
combat
vault.
there. Came out the turbo lift, the guard was looking this way. And yep, the alarm has been raised. But, well, the alarm had kind of been raised anyway, and that was the whole point of Denyon and the rest of the crew unloading on the mansion to get the alarms activated. So, hopefully, nobody's going to notice that the alarm in the vault has now been activated. Still, we should probably not take anything for granted. The vault might be alarmed on a separate system. So we better move our ass. Although, that doesn't mean I'm not going to pick up everything that I can possibly pick up. I am, after all, a petty thief. Data spike time again. This should get me onto the other side of the force field. Maybe. Hopefully. Uh-oh.
I activated the barrier, but that won't stop them for long. If they get in here...
Somebody did notice that the alarm had been activated in the vault. Hopefully we've bought ourselves some time. Right, time for the slicing minigame. Again, this is something that you can adjust the difficulty of in the options, although you can't eliminate it entirely. You basically have to try to arrange the symbols in the correct order, within a certain number of attempts. Anything red is not a correct symbol, anything yellow is a correct symbol, but you've got them in the wrong order. it's not that difficult. And there's a whole bunch of enhancements to it that you can unlock. Again, there's ability unlocks later on in the game. And we're in. And now, disable vault security.
Okay. Okay, Danian. I disabled the security. You got a clear path.
Get to the vault. We'll clean up out here and meet you inside.
Well, that's the force field down, but we still have to negotiate access through the vault door. And I know I was hired onto the crew as the thief, but I don't think I'm slicing my way through that, and I'm not seeing how I can bullshit my way through it either.
Whoa, hi. Yeah, I need to get in.
Yeah, that's really the best she could come up with on short notice. She's not very good.
Danian, I'm at the vault door, and there's this droid.
You've met the TT-8L. Good. Password is Grandio Cha.
Of course it is. Hey, come back. I know you're in there. Grandio Cha.
Fortunately,
Hello?
Danian knew the password. She's got remarkably good intel, but there's a good reason for that.
The vault. I guess this is what real money looks like.
Not too sure about that. I mean, that's just the standard issue Imperial DLT-20A blaster rifle. There's absolutely nothing special about it, unless there's something special about it that I can't see. Had a quick poke around in the vault. Stuff in the display cases. Aside from the blaster rifles, I didn't recognise anything in particular. If there are bigger Star Wars nerds than me out there who recognise what some of this stuff is, then feel free to enlighten us in the comments, but I wasn't seeing anything particularly special or recognisable except for, well, those. Well, anyway, I'm clearly supposed to activate the console over here, so let's get on with the plot.
Let's get it open. Huh?
You're not Zarek Besh.
What is this? Where's my cash?
Use a hand here.
I did everything right. The code was good.
Asara, did you find it?
No. The stories about Slither and Zarek Besh, they're all true.
We've got to go. You'll get paid once we're safe. You have our word.
Wait! Nobody move. You either pay me now, or just pay me.
She really is this stupid.
We're the Rebel Alliance.
So?
Yeah, I figured these guys were rebels,
Windows closing.
which means Sleero's working with the Empire.
Join us and fight the Empire for the future of this galaxy.
What's it pay?
First smart
We
thing
don't have
she
time for
said,
this.
Hey, wait!
but yeah, totally saw that coming. And frankly, she was lucky they didn't just kill her. Cassian Andor would have.
Eyes open, Kay. Here we go.
Flashback time. This is Kay's mother,
For luck.
teaching her how to be a thief.
Picking the mark's half the game.
And yeah, based on current evidence, doesn't look like Kay was a very good pupil.
See? They don't even know we exist.
But she's going to learn a very important lesson here.
You're a little young for a thief.
Where are you? I messed up. Watch it!
Hey!
Well, she at least didn't try to blame it on somebody else. She said, I messed up. Apparently that's a lesson that she managed to forget all on her own later on.
Welcome back, kiddo. Now, what was your lesson?
Can't trust someone's always gonna be there.
That's my girl.
And back to the present, where things are not going well for Kay Vess.
Okay, I can explain. You must be Slero.
Your friends abandoned you.
Friends. What friends?
How long have you been part of the Rebel Alliance?
Oh, you're serious?
What do the rebels want with Zarek Besh?
Listen, I don't know any rebels, but I know people. Let me go. I get answers. We solve this together.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
He doesn't get out of here alive.
Nix is definitely,
Always there when I need you, Nix.
definitely
Okay. How do I get out of
the
here?
hero of this game. Okay, we got burned by the rebels, but hey, nobody to blame but ourselves for that one. Now we got to get out of here.
We're going loud. Find cover, Nick.
Alright, it looks like the turbolift's in lockdown, but this door wasn't open before. No, I meant to shut it after me. Okay. Second time lucky. Nix, anything? No guards nearby.
There's gotta be a way out.
There doesn't necessarily have to be a way out, although it'd be a pretty short game if there wasn't. Alright, into the vents.
Don't make a sound, Nix.
Oh,
I want
hello.
the death mark on her now. I promise a fortune for whoever can bring me her head. There'll be nowhere in the galaxy she can hide from me.
Yep, now I've got the Bounty Hunters Guild on my ass. Yay! Anyway, first things first, let's get out of here. So, oh wait, I get it. Take out the power supply to the fan. And now we can sneak through.
Please don't be a trash chute.
I mean, it's not going to be a trash chute with a ventilation fan at one end, is it? Well, I suppose it might be, but no, it's not.
That's 2 jobs gone sideways, Nix. This is way beyond bad luck.
Well, you're almost right, Kay, but it's not bad luck. Winners make their own good luck. Losers make bad decisions, blame it on bad luck, and never learn to make good decisions because as far as they're concerned, it's just their bad luck. She's had 2 jobs go sideways in the same day, and the only common denominator is that she was involved in both of them. At some point, you just have to stop blaming it on luck.
It's that old ship. New plan, Nix. We're gonna steal it and fly out of here. Yeah, sounds risky to me too. Got something, bud?
You know how to fly a ship, right, Kay? Kay doesn't know how to fly a ship. But I kind of have to give her this one, because under the circumstances, she really doesn't have much of a choice. And there's no way she's sneaking past this lot. So we are fighting our way out. Now notice the health bar at the bottom of the screen. Any partially depleted health bar will regenerate on its own if you give it enough time. Any fully depleted health bar, like that one, can only be restored by using Bacta. I've still got 2 Bacta vials on me. I'll go ahead and use one. Alright, there's the ship. I'm not seeing any more bad guys in here with me. But I'm not going to stick around waiting for more of them to turn up. Yeah, more of them just turned up. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Yeah, I get it. We made it. Kay still doesn't know how to fly this thing, though.
Just like flying a speeder, right, Nix?
No, it's not just like flying a speeder.
Nope.
Well, alright. She at least has an honest enough appraisal of her own abilities here to know that she has no idea what she's doing.
Sorry. That's fun.
Oh, she's just going to Anakin Skywalker it, isn't she? It's just like pod racing. Don't worry, I'm fake laughing, but the tears are real. Never mind, let's get out of here.
God. Barrier's down.
Now, you're not actually directly controlling the ship here, other than moving forward and starting things off, which means that Kay's lack of flying expertise is 100% responsible for that.
Okay.
And this.
Almost there. Get out of here. No. More, you piece of scrag. Tashara. I'll take anywhere.
And this, kids, this is Star Wars Outlaws. Okay, you're very not okay. Yep, you have just wrecked the ship, but at least you're not on Kanto anymore, with a bit of a head start on the bounty hunters who are going to be coming after you. Kay's still a clueless idiot who constantly makes bad decisions, but she's starting to show signs of growth and improvement, as is the game itself. I would have initially given this game a 6 out of 10, and even that would have been generous just because it was Star Wars. But with 20 hours of gameplay under my belt, as at the time of recording this particular video, I'd be more than happy to give it a 7.5, maybe even an 8. Star Wars Outlaws is a game that I actually look forward to firing up every day just to see what happens next, and in that respect I can see why other reviewers were saying it just didn't feel like a Ubisoft game, because that's not something I've been able to say about a Ubisoft title since Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And now that we've made it off Kanto, it's finally turning into the open world Star Wars game that we have been demanding, although, at least until you get the ship fixed, you are, for the moment, confined to just the one planet. But don't take my word for it, stick around, judge for yourself in future videos. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this one, I hope you're all having a great day, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.